Connecting the server. All right, so I wanted to bring everybody together, some of the key players, not quite everybody, but some of the key players from the Impact Results team, to talk about, what's going on. As of recording this, it is April 21st, 2020. We're all working remote from our homes. And, despite what some might think, we are having a lot of success with a lot of our clients. So I just wanted to bring you all together to kind of share what are we doing to see those results, so that somebody that might need some help somewhere watching this can have an idea of what they could do to drive some sales right now. So we've got a few folks on the line with us. We've got George. He is our Chief Marketing Officer at Impact Results. We've got Lacey. She is our Senior Strategist at Impact. We've got Mikey. He is our Senior Web Guru here at Impact. And then we've got Abby, and Abby does a little bit of everything. She's part of the web team, but she's also, the person that controls the email marketing and gets the results there. So, George, I'm going to start with you. What, if we were to look back a month ago and say, okay, we're going into a hurricane, we're going to have clients that are having success and that have extreme ROI. I don't think that we would have said that'd be the case. Do you?
There was a little bit of uncertainty for sure. There was, in a situation like this, or a truly, world-altering event, nobody alive today has lived through one before. So none of us know how to really interpret what's going to happen or to project what's going to happen. Luke, you and I on the Moto Marketing podcast, we kind of did some prognostication there a little bit, got up on the stump and said, well, what do we think is going to happen? And a lot of what we talked about did happen. There were a lot of people who panicked and dipped. They got out of the market, and what they did is they freed up millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of inventory on Facebook, on Instagram, on every digital platform. We kind of theoretically we knew this should happen, and it did happen. So what happened is demand went down. And availability went up. So that meant the prices for all of your different placements went down. So, one of the really unprecedented things we saw happen is we started to see our clients who were courageous enough and could stay in the market, which are mostly our e-commerce clients, they started seeing increasing results.
Mm-hmm. So Lacey, talk a little bit about, what you're seeing from that front as far as the results are going up. George had mentioned that obviously there's less people pushing their product on there. So what have we done for our clients to capitalize on that? And what can somebody listen to this maybe keep in mind if they're thinking about, okay, maybe I should start doing some e-com and running ads? What have we learned that people can implement?
So I think what really drove results for a lot of our clients is we got ahead on messaging very, very quickly. If your messaging isn't genuine, if it's not sincere, don't even try it. Everybody's in a very vulnerable time and stuff like that. So I think being very sincere with your messaging and also really providing the value that your product can give at this time was really key.
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw it to Abby for just a minute, and then we'll go to some things to keep in mind with your shopping cart solution, your web store with Mike. Abby, you obviously do a lot of work with Mike on the pay-per-click advertising, SEO, and just web design side of things too. But something that you've been doing a lot of here recently for a few clients is the email side of it. And I don't know if this is accurate, but I'd venture to guess that maybe open rates are higher. But we've been having a lot of success with just that second sale with follow-up email marketing with our e-com clients. What have you seen from that front that people might need to consider as far as using a platform like MailChimp or Constant Contact and starting to push some emails out to their current group of customers?
So open rate has been significantly increasing. Especially since everyone is online right now and everyone is doing their online buying. And especially whenever you're writing your copy for your email or you're using anything when involving email, you want to be very personable, because you're kind of just like, it's kind of like you're sending a letter to somebody, like
Mhm.
how we used to in the old days. You want to be personable, maybe even a little funny. Like, so a lot of people are looking for humor right now, especially
Yeah.
in such like dark times. So like I'll make like the headline kind of funny, or I'll make it very timely, but not as bittersweet, or, and include some of like your highest grossing products, or products you want to push a little more, and people will be more apt to choose those items based on your personality and your emails. Kind
Yeah.
of like Lacey said.
Yeah, it's been working really well. So I think the big thing, if you're watching this, to take away is you're better off trying to have an all-encompassing plan than just poking and prodding at one thing or another, just Facebook ads or just email. Come up with some type of a plan, no matter how big or small it is, that is going to encompass multiple things, like your e-commerce store, your Facebook, Instagram ads, your follow-up advertising with email. Mike, we could go super deep with you, because your side of it is just so complex and confusing for the average business owner or entrepreneur. But just kind of a high level, like, we obviously know there's one platform that is pretty much superior to all the others as far as if you're going to have selling your product online. So let's kind of start there for somebody that might be considering, hey, it'd be really nice to have had a shopping cart solution, web store. Where would you direct them?
I think what's really important right now is to have the functionality of being able to link with a coupon code. So if you're running an ad using a digital campaign, people are either impulse buying with their stimulus check, or just people are shopping to quell the boredom. They need to be able to check out quickly. So if they see a campaign that says, hey, 20% off or free shipping if you spend over $50, what have you, then when they click through the ad and they go to add the product to the cart, they need to be able to immediately have the coupon code automatically applied to the cart. Shopify does this, WooCommerce does this, but we recommend Shopify because of their top level integration with Facebook marketing. And so that's one aspect of it. And I think the other is just knowing which type of coupon codes your audience is satisfied with. So whether it's free shipping on orders over $50 or flat percentage discounts, you just really need to think about the type of discount you're giving to try to get people to click through the ad and convert at a higher rate. And I think Shopify is a good way of doing it because of that link functionality.
Mike, you and I were working on something this morning with Josh, our video producer. Some people have seen the reality video series that we're doing for the e-bike team that Impakt has. And we went to upload episode number 2 to YouTube today and to turn it into a sponsored piece of content. And Mike discovered something that I wasn't aware of, that I think people should be aware of if they're trying to run ads on YouTube. Mike, let's talk a little bit about what you discovered this morning.
Yeah, so anytime you're running an ad that mentions the virus by name, coronavirus or COVID, whenever you're running an ad with that, it pretty much YouTube's going to take it down. If you upload an organic video and say you have a good reach and you get ad revenue, they're going to demonetize the video. They don't want, any of that surrounding the coronavirus, panic. They're really trying to get a smaller amount of high authority voices going. George had a great point this morning. That's probably a good thing. So whenever, we're posting an episode of something that's kind of unrelated, but that came up during the episode, we can talk about current times without mentioning the virus by name and get it approved. So yeah, it's just one of those things that you just have to keep in mind, going forward when making content and stuff like that. Something that took us by a little bit of surprise.
Yeah.
We thought, we'll remove the title and all that. And I think that, that might get approved and things, but what people really need to do, because it's doing that automatic transcription of everything. So as people are talking, they kind of know what's being said, just, from their algorithm and stuff. So even if you just say it, even if you don't put it in a tag, description, or the title, you just got to be mindful of what's in the video and what you're saying.
So that's on YouTube. George and Lacey, have we seen anything like that from Facebook? And if so, or if not, what are your guys' approach to that with our clients as far as using coronavirus or COVID-19 in the copy? Are we staying away from that just ethically wise? Are we leveraging that as a strategy? Where are we at with that on Facebook, Instagram?
Go ahead, please. Yeah.
Sorry, George. So on Facebook, it appears that you're advertising something to try and make a profit off of the virus itself, then it'll get flagged.
Okay.
It's very touchy-feely with the way you use the word. It's not, denying every single time you do it. It's just how you do it. So it's interesting because on George and I's side of things, we're so involved with the actual strategy within Ads Manager and different things like that. But what's been the game changer during this whole thing is actual messaging and how you approach it, being genuine without, like Mike said, mentioning the actual virus name and stuff like that. So it's just really being careful with verbiage at this point.
Yeah.
We've got a client who's actually who's selling masks right now, and he took part of his operations and he said, okay, great, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shift it towards masks because it's just a half step to the left to actually get his machines to make masks. And I did a refresh for him yesterday. I already had mask ads running. I added some new images to it, changed the verbiage a little bit, went to launch, and it got denied. So I just had to pull it back down and look at, okay, great, what possibly could be happening here with the ad copy that is kind of setting this off, and really just had to kind of go through and just kind of overthink it a little bit. But really, it's kind of taking down anything that smacks of something that could be an unsubstantiated claim. Pull that down. Keep it broad. If you're going to sell a mask, show the mask.
Right.
Make extraordinary claims about it. Because that's what's going to get you flagged 9 times out of 10. We all at this point right now with PPEs, we all understand. Okay, keep your mouth covered. If you show a mouth covering, just let it be. Talk about the quality of material, talk about the price, talk about the design, and let it go at that.
Last thing as we kind of wrap this up, and I'd like to do one of these maybe each week, with just different things that we've kind of learned, because it is just like the virus itself. What we're seeing is working is very much ever changing and changes quickly. So I think if we can do something like this each week to try to bring some value to folks watching, we'll definitely do it. Abby, I meant to ask you this a little bit earlier. What, for somebody that's not doing email marketing right now, that is interested in it or wanting to get their feet wet, and even if they're wanting to try it on their own, what platform or platforms are we using for our various clients, or is it just one across the board that you've been leveraging?
So I've been using one across the board, which is OmniSend, and it is very collaborative with Shopify, I think is the right phrasing. And so like you can be in the middle of making your email, and then you can click a shopping cart and you can go straight to your website and pick products that you could just plug right into the email. And so it's very simple, very easy, and you can create them from scratch. They have templates for you, and it's very easy.
Cool. Last thing, even though I already said that was the last thing, George or Lacey, have either of you heard anything more or done any research for, I know Facebook has some type of a grant program to help businesses with ad spend. Do we have any information on that we can share, or do you have a suggestion of a good place for somebody that might be in need of that type of program to go look and do some research on their own?
Yeah, Facebook's actually been pretty generous with that thus far. I mean, we don't know anybody personally who's actually who's benefited from it. But you go and you apply for it. If you're already a Facebook advertiser, go and you apply for it. They'll put you on a list and they'll notify you when and if you've been chosen to qualify for this type of relief. So I think it's fantastic that Facebook is actually going out and saying, okay, great, we want to help you out even more by keeping you afloat during this time.
Awesome. Well, guys, I appreciate you jumping on. It's midday on a Tuesday, so I wanted to pull everybody in, but we've got campaigns that everybody needs to hop back on. So I'm going to cut this one off here. But I think, again, we can do one of these every other week or every week as we kind of go through this situation. Obviously, our team's extremely talented. They're on the up and up. So if anything is changing or going on that we're using the leverage for our clients, the people you see on the call right now are the ones that can help you learn it yourself. So appreciate everybody jumping on with me this morning or this afternoon, and we will talk again soon.